Hi everyone, my name is Giovanna Proencia and today we're going to talk about functions using Scratch and Python, okay? So the purpose of this video is to understand better the relationship between Scratch and Python and you feel more comfortable on starting using this new language, okay? So I'm not going to focus too much in here in the Scratch because I am assuming that you already did the exercises of Scratch. But I'm going to focus here on Python, okay? So this is the terminal of Python you already saw in the previous problems. So let's start defining our first function, okay? The first function, I'm going to do this here. It's going to be a function called hello, okay? And this function, it's not going to have any parameter to be used, okay? And what is going to happen in this function? We're going to have a repetition. Repeat 10, okay, and we're going to say hello 10 times, okay? So let's see what happens here. When we click in here, nothing is going to happen, okay, because we are not calling this function that we're creating in our main code. So we're not defining here, for example, the event when green flag clicked. That's why when we click on the green flag, nothing happens, okay? So by now, the same thing happens in Python. So let's do first the definition in Python. So here we have define. In Python, we have to use a def of definition, okay? Is the def of definition, the name of your function, I'm going to call hello, and the open and close parentheses. By now, this open and close parentheses will have anything inside, because we're not passing any variable as parameter for this function, like in here. And what are we going to do inside? We're going to repeat 10 times and we're going to say hello. So that's what we're going to do. So remember repetition, we have to use here the for n in range, okay? And we're going to do basically this. So when we do for n in range 10, stop 10, we're going to print and 10 times. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, if you count, we have 10 numbers, okay? And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do for I in range 10. And in each iteration, we're going to print hello, okay? Let's see what happens if we try to run this in here. So Python scratch .py, it's going to happen anything. It's not printing anything. Why? Because of the same problem in here. Here we're just defining the function, but we're not using this function anywhere else. So when we want to use a function, we have to call it. So basically here we're just defining, but since we want to use it, we have to do the same thing as we're going to do here in Scratch, that we say what? When we put when green flag clicked, and you call the function hello. When you do this, now our cat is going to say hello 10 times. I don't know why I say hello with just one L, because in here it has two, but it's okay. So it's basically it. And we're going to do the same thing. By now, when we run this code, it's not printing anything. So how we can do this? So here we're calling the function. Here we're going to do the same. So we have to say hello, open and close parentheses, in the same level of the definition. So everything that is inside the definition has to have an indentation. So now here the for I in range has this indentation. And why the print has this other type of indentation? Because the print is inside the function and is also inside the for loop, okay? That's why we have this indentation in here. And this hello, when we call the function hello in here, we are in the same level of the definition, is because we already defined the function and now we want to use it. So when we do this and we run python scratch.py, now we're going to print hello 10 times, okay? So here we have hello 10 times. Perfect. Now let's go to a next problem. In this next problem, we're going to print hello n times. So basically, we're going to pass a variable to print hello how many times as we want. So what are we going to do? Let me close this here. Okay. So let me take this out. Okay, so I'm going to delete here, I'm sorry. And we're going to create a new function. So what is this new function? So add an input number or a variable. So here the block name will have value, so our function is still calling hello. And the number of our text is going to be n. Okay, so when we pass n, so here the function, what does this mean? So we're defining the function hello, and we have as variable, we have a parameter, the value of n here. And we're going to do a repetition, but not 10 times. We're going to do the repetition n times. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, the value of n. So where is n? So we're going to put here the value of n. So whatever this n is, when we pass the variable, we're going to repeat n times, and we're going to say hello n times. Okay, so let's do the same thing in here. So basically we're going to put, let me take this out. So by now we're doing this 10 times, but we're going to change. So we're going to pass a variable called n, and we're going to do this iteration n times, okay? And here we have the same issue. When we green flag clicked, nothing happens. And when we do here python scratch.py, nothing happens as well. Why? Because we're not calling the function outside the definition. Here we're just defining the function. It's like a prototype. We're just making clear that when we call the function hello, this will happen, but we're not calling the function hello anytime. So here we're going to do the same. So when green flag clicked, I'm going to say hello, and here I'm going to put a number. I cannot say n, because when I say n, for example, the Scratch doesn't understand what n means. We have to give a value. So I'm going to put 3 here, for example. And when I put 3, I'm going to say hello 3 times. It's not so clear, right? Oops, let me change this, say hello. I'm going to change for say hello 1 second. So you're going to check what is happening. So when we call hello, it's going to say hello 3 times, and then we're ready to go. So this is basically what we're going to do this in here. So we're going to call the function hello, okay? But if we call with anything inside, we're going to have a problem. So hello missing one required positional argument, that is n. So the compiler already tells us that we're missing one argument. We have to pass something inside of here, okay? Again, if we pass n, let's see what here says. So we're going to have a name error, name n is not defined, and what n means. It doesn't mean anything, because everything that is inside the function here, it's local. So this n is like a placeholder for what values you're going to put inside the parentheses when you call the function. So the compiler doesn't understand what this n means, because this double n in here are local variables, okay? So here we have to pass a number. So if I pass 3, we're going to print hello 3 times, okay? So let's use the debugger also, and you're going to check what happens. I'm going to put the debugger hello on line 5, and let's see what happened here. So in this line, what are we doing? We're calling the function hello. So here we know that's function hello. When we do this iteration, we are passing 3 here, so the compiler understands that n is equal to 3. Why n? Because n is the value that is inside the parentheses. So since we're passing 3 inside the parentheses, the compiler already does this match here for us. So now we're going to do an iteration for I in the range. So I will start at 0, and we're going to print the first hello, as we can see in here. Now we're going to go to the next iteration, I equals to 1, and we're going to print hello again. Next iteration, I equals to 2, we're going to print hello again. And if we increment this value 2 by 1, we're going to have 3, but 3 is equals to n, and remember the range function is not included. That's why we're going to stop the for loop, and we're going to stop their code, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this content, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.